Hello.
Well, hello. Sorry we're late. We had to fix audio issues because Anthony and Sarah were filming the elementary, curriculum, and he messed with all the settings of my computer, which is why you didn't get sound on the countdown to like the last 25 seconds.
You sounded a little like flimmy. The pressure here in South Florida is very wonky right now.
It is. And I was outside getting something, making sure the chickens went back into their coop.
It's all about the chickens.
And Anthony is out there in the pool with 3 citronella candles. He's sitting in the pool. On the edge of the pool is 3 citronella candles, and he's going like this. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm cold. So he's using citronella candles to build a fire while he's in the pool.
Is this a bad parenting situation?
I think so.
Like, I don't know. What led us to this place in our lives?
Okay, so, well, hello, I'm Joe.
And I'm Rachel.
And we're Two Crazy Ketos. And here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and product reviews. We talk about various keto topics. And then every Monday, we sit down right here on this bench and talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com. That's where you're gonna find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it. Will we be uploading a new recipe video tomorrow?
I don't know. I haven't edited anything yet. We do have a couple of recipe videos coming.
We do.
And I think we just perfected a custard. A super easy, low carbohydrate, total carbohydrate custard.
I think you've gotten it.
I think we've got it. We've
been
messing around with it. We've been messing around with it for a while.
You know it's not me.
I was really trying to do it where you could make it in the microwave, and it just won't work. Every time I'm using a protein powder, and every time I do it, it curdles.
Yeah.
So the only way I'm finding that it works right is in a water bath in the oven. But the whole point is trying to get a quick and easy thing for breakfast.
But here's the thing. Don't you find that with a lot of like keto food? It's okay for us to get out of the mentality that every single meal we eat should be nuked and it should take 14 seconds to make.
Yes.
Right? Like everything good about keto is like ribeye and brisket and curing your own bacon. And these things take time. It's okay that it takes us longer than a Hot Pocket 10 seconds to
Yeah, but 30 minutes is a bit much. So let's see who's in here.
I think it's worth it.
So Wright family is here, Vicky is here, Jason Butler is here,
Hello.
Shanta is here, Chris and Miriam, Patty Epps, Carla is here, Deb is here.
Hello.
Emily is here, Janice is here, Christopher, Hungry Heath, Nan.
Ooh, Heath was talking to Dr. Barry.
Sandy is here. Len is here.
I love that.
Kathleen is here. Krista is here. Rhonda is here.
Hey, Rhonda.
Am I missing anybody? Beth, Holly, Joe.
Hey, Holly. Hey, Joe.
Christopher said, I am waiting for the announcement that Trick and Treat is canceled so I can buy tickets to go to Utah.
Aw. I'm really hoping that
I'm really hoping nothing happens. We're going to buy our tickets for our airline tickets no matter what. And we're like, you know what? If they have to cancel it for some reason,
let's just go hang out in Utah,
we're just gonna bother Chris and Miriam for a week.
Let's just harass those poor people.
We'll take a ride down to the Redmond mine.
Let's just do it. You know what? Let's just move forward with life anyway.
I meant to watch it. It's looking more and more like football is going to get canceled. There's a big thing going on in the state of Florida right now. Half of the state wants football, at least postponed a few months, and half of the state's like, hey, if there's counties that can't play, tough. We're playing without them. Of course, they're talking about the counties that win every single year.
I was talking to your sister this afternoon, and she was talking about what this is going to do for her as far as watching sports, because she's a super big sports aficionado. She loves sports. And it was so funny. It was like we were on different planets, because she's saying I hear football and baseball and I'm hearing all of these terms, and I'm just like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I appreciate the fact that you're excited about this.
I need to let her know though, because we have T-Mobile, and T-Mobile every Tuesday have special deals. Well, this week's deal was you get a free season pass to watch all of the Major League Baseball games on MLB.com.
Wow.
I don't like watching baseball. Like, I don't mind going to a game, but you're never going to see me watching it on TV. It's kind of boring to me to watch on TV. And so, like, I'm just going like, hey, I created the account. Go ahead and use it because I can't use it.
So we're in Florida.
I'm not going to use it.
So it's a Marlins. This is the Marlins area.
Yeah, but I'm a Mets fan.
And I know. But baseball to me just reminds me of getting the snot burnt out of the top of my head, being like burnt to the seats, and then the hot dogs. And I mean, I could just go and get a hot dog. Don't hot dogs taste different at a sporting event than they do when you cook them the same hot dog at home?
Yeah.
There's something magical that happens.
Something different.
So just
like
toss the bun,
dogs.
And I feel like you could still have this experience.
Let's see who else is in here. So Constance is here.
Hey, Constance.
Sandra is here.
Hey,
Kim
Sandra.
is here. Said happy Thursday. Shelly is here.
Oh, and it's cool in Michigan.
Taker's mom does keto is here. Brandy's here. Said Sam Clip has
Taters.
6-pack of Quest chips for $5.88 with a limit of 4. We scored some Quest chips for $1.20 a bag that were on clearance at our local GNC.
Everything about our food says special.
Absolutely.
Down to the snacks. The snacks are marked special. We're special.
Chris
Maybe
said
we're
hot
special.
dogs at the sporting events taste expensive. Seriously, I can buy a prime rib for that much money.
Serious, right?
That's why we don't go to sporting events. Years and years ago, when John Paul was little, I actually had annual passes or season tickets for the Miami Dolphins. This is back when Dan Marino was still there, and they were they made it to playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Then Jimmy Johnson left, and Dan Marino retired, and they tore apart the team, and they quadrupled the tickets.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm done. I went, because I actually had a third ticket because my sister lives in New York, but it was so expensive to go to football games in New York. It was cheaper for me to buy a third ticket for the Miami Dolphins, and she would fly down for like 3 games a year than it would be for her to go to like 2 games in New York.
Yeah.
So we just had the third ticket, and when I would bring friends, and I brought John Paul and stuff like that. And then, like I said, they tore apart the team. They were horrible, and then they quadrupled the tickets, and I'm like, I'm done. I went from 3 tickets with a parking pass, and I dropped down to 2 tickets with a cheaper parking pass, and it was double the price of my 3 tickets. And we just stopped because it just got expensive.
Do you know how many times I've run into Dan Marino at Fresh Market?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Fresh Market is Whole Foods' more expensive brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like
Anthony loves Fresh Market.
I feel like Fresh Market could have like a specialty beard and facial, like a top hat. I feel like everyone that works there should be wearing an ascot. It's very expensive, and they are piping in the classical music because something about classical music makes you feel like I need to spend money, and yes, we need a gardener, something. So I only go there very, very rarely. Like, I need something super specific, and they don't have it even at Whole Foods, and I'll go to Fresh Market and get it. Every single time I go there, Dan Marino is there. Maybe he works there.
You're talking about the one over in Coral Springs,
Yeah.
right? It's because he lives in Parkland.
I know, but it's just weird, right? Like, oh, well, hello, Mr. Marino.
Okay, Joe said he was up at the Costco by us. He was looking for us.
Joe, if
we need to get together for like coffee or something
let's
once
go
all
get
this
some
comes
coffee.
like is over.
Yeah, like
You
once
live
it's,
like 20 minutes from us.
we gotta hang out.
Right Family said, tell her she did really good on her cooking video. Mike is here over on Facebook.
I'm praying for you, Right Family. I'm excited. We may have a job opportunity on the horizon. I'm excited.
Let's see.
And this song lets you stand up and dance.
Yeah, somebody asked why we have the countdown. It just allows us to make sure gives us that minute to make sure everything is done. And unfortunately, we were late with that.
I have requested numerous times that our theme song be Boots and Pants. Like boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants. And I have been shut down by you, by the children, my mother. Everybody's like, no, stop.
Chris said he's got to check on his Keto Chow marshmallows that his daughter is making.
Yum. Do they have the recipe for that on the Keto
It's
Chow?
on the Keto Chow website.
Why have we not made those?
Speaking of, websites, Utah companies, we were over on the Redmond Facebook's thing. I wanted to remind everybody. So next Thursday, we are hosting the Redmond 24-hour fast. It's going to start at 7 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, right? Mountain Daylight Time?
I
Yes,
don't know
Mountain
what that
Daylight
is.
Time. Utah time.
Utah.
7 p.m. next Thursday. It's going to be a 24-hour fast.
I'm very upset with you.
Why?
Because I did not say balls not one time today in that live stream, and there was not even a pat on the back. Thank you for not shaming me, Rachel. Like, I didn't shame us. I made y'all proud. I didn't say anything uncouth.
No, you didn't.
So. You gotta brag on me for that.
Also, I put a coupon code down below. I got a text message that if anybody's interested in a chili or an Uller blanket, or a pad, they're having a deal right now. I think it's like 25% off through the end of July. I think the code is by July. I put it down below.
Are they worried that nobody's going to use that blanket when it goes into like the colder months because it's called chili? I mean, you can heat it up. It has a heat setting. Maybe if we got one for Anthony, he could stop trying to warm himself by citronella candle out there.
Line Girl said, good evening, everyone. Just finishing up my dinner. Grass-fed hot dogs on an unbun. Wendy's Southwest avocado salad.
Ooh.
Topped off with some moon cheese. And for after dinner, our snack, ranch Quest chips.
That sounds flippin' amazing.
We had for dinner, I made a chicken breast with shrimp fajita. Obviously, wraps, just like a fajita salad.
It was so good, and it is amazing how the seasoning changes it all together. Like, you go the taco route, or you season it almost like a barbecue side. It's a different experience every time.
Joe wants to know, is the custard like an American pudding or a custard as a sauce? It's kind of like got the texture of a flan.
Yes,
except for it doesn't have the stuff on the bottom, obviously the caramel on the bottom.
If you're a fan,
but it's that flan custard kind of texture.
Do you say flan or flan?
Flan.
Okay.
He said Rachel could always learn to edit, then she can help.
No. Okay. Can you even imagine? It would be like put together like a note from like a kidnapper for like a ransom note is what I feel like would be the video equivalent.
DS said, hello, it's been a rough medical treatment week. Was definitely looking forward to the 2KK live stream tonight.
I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm sorry that you've been having a rough week. I foolishly took a little nap this afternoon. Have you ever taken a nap in error? Like,
Gail said, I missed her. I'm so sorry, Gail. I did not see your name up there. I saw your name, but I thought I read it.
Hello. Have you ever taken a nap and it was a bad move? You think that like taking a nap is always a good move, but no. Like, I woke up and I didn't know what time period we lived in. I forgot where I was. Like, it was one of those naps that it was like, this didn't fix anything.
Taking a nap is the worst thing for me. I just get a headache when I wake up.
It's just enough to reset me. There's times when you can like perfectly time a nap and like the length intersecting with the time in which you're taking it is perfect. But this was one of those ones I literally woke up and was like, am I colonial? Is this the colonial period? Like, I really didn't even know what time period we were living in history.
Shelly said, so if it's canceled, we can all just hang out in Utah anyways. Like I said, we're going to go. We're going for a week.
Yes.
And I don't think Chris and Miriam knew we were coming for a week, but we're coming for a week.
Surprise.
So, yeah.
We'll live somewhere else. We'll bring a tent.
We're there, so if you're there and they cancel it or something, they have no choice and you cancel it or something like that.
It won't be nearly weird if we just pitch a tent in their front yard.
No.
That won't cause...
You'll be at home. You can live with the chickens.
There we go. Oh, yes, because they have chickens.
That's right.
Yay! Visiting chickens.
Chris said, I'll be hanging out. You might as well, too. Right
Awesome.
Family said they think they're going to have football here. Not likely.
Yeah, you know what it is? You almost want them to just make a decision so you can plan. It's that, like, have you ever had the feeling that you wanted to go and still had the feeling that you wanted to stay? Like, I don't know what we're doing, and that frustrates me.
What's happening here in Florida is, so the governor said schools have to open. The problem is that a lot of the counties down here, now even Orlando and stuff, but a lot of the counties down here, like, there's a lot of issues going on, and you have a lot of people. And Florida is a big state, and it's very different. When you get up into the panhandle, into, like, out on the certain areas of the West Coast, you're talking about, I was watching the live stream of them arguing from the other day about this, like people from the state.
I can't watch arguing live streams.
And the one guy was like, you know, our high school has 386 kids aged from grade 7 to grade 12. And I'm like, Anthony had more than 387 kids in his virtual school program.
Right, yeah.
I mean, you're talking about high schools in Broward County that have 700, 800 kids in a grade level.
Yeah, I have relatives that are teachers.
And there's a high school in every corner.
In the middle of the state, and they were like, well, you know what? We'll make a decision in later in August for September. And I was like, oh my Lord, you can't do that to me. You can't tell me that we're going to decide what we're going to do, but only have a week.
Right. So yeah, so the governor said that they need to go back to school, and so some of the athletic directors are like, if they need to go back to school, how can we tell a kid it's okay to go in a lunch line, but it's not okay to get on the field and play sports? I have a problem with the fact they're saying the athletes will be on the field, but if they do go back, anybody who's on the sidelines, coaches, players who are not actively in a play, will have to wear masks, and still will officials.
Huh.
Well,
that's gonna be
I
hard.
got news for you. If an athlete doesn't have to wear a mask, why do I as an official have to wear a mask? Because my problem is this. I'm older.
Are you?
The chance that I'm going to run out of breath is greater than a 17-year-old athlete. And so if anybody shouldn't have to wear a mask, it would be me. But I don't want to officiate in a mask. I don't think if we have to officiate with a mask, I'd rather us wait and make sure that all of these kids are safe. But there's a lot of argument going on in the state because some areas of the state don't have any issues, and then there's other areas that do have issues, and they're like, well, you're going against what the governor said.
Doesn't this make for a very, isn't this what, the driving equivalent of this is not being able to commit to a lane and makes you really more dangerous?
Well, my thing is this. If colleges are canceling, and the
NFL.
Professionals like the NFL and the NBA and Major League Baseball are all taking all of these precautions, the NBA is only playing in Orlando kind of thing, and there's no fans for NFL games, and the NFL players, there's no preseason at all. If they're taking all these precautions, why are we not taking precautions for high school athletes? How much money is riding on high school athletes?
Yes.
I mean, for these kids, I worry more about their college scholarships, but I mean, we have to protect their health too.
I know. It's so crazy.
Constance said basketball comes back on July 30th, NBA, and July 25th for the WNBA.
I think I need to see this. Even I need to see some sports, right? I need to root for something right now in this season.
So Christopher said, I told my wife many times the best hot dogs you can get are at a baseball game. Even if it's the cheapest hot dogs you can buy, boiled in a crock pot and sold for 50 cents at a Little League. Now, I'm going to argue with you, Christopher. The best place to get a hot dog is on a street corner in New York City.
No.
Or in front of Home Depot.
Do you hear what he's saying right now? Do you think
Dirty Water dogs are the best hot dogs? Give me a thumbs up. Do me a favor. Hit the like button on the stream if you think the Dirty Water dogs are the best hot dogs.
It's alarming. Do you know what they call some of the stands that sell hot dogs out of them? Roach coaches.
No, that's different. No.
I've seen
Dirty Water dogs are not in roach coaches. Roach coaches are the guys who drive up to all the different
Why are they called
constructions.
Dirty Water dogs? I don't want to eat something
because you're
called
cooking
dirty
the hot
water.
dogs in the same water all day long. The water gets changed every day.
It does? Are you sure?
Yes.
In your
I had a
opinion?
friend of mine who actually owned one of those. Yes, that gets changed. They're under a lot of health scrutiny, but
Oh, it looks like it.
the further along in the day, the better the hot dog tastes.
Oh, because they've been in
They've been
in
all
the juice
cooking.
sauce.
Yes, cooking all that stuff.
Wow.
Dana said, amazing getting ready for vacation, leaving Sinjay for the mountains. Our Sunday, I'm assuming.
Ooh, that is nice. I wish we were leaving for the mountains.
Miriam said they had our keto chow chili for dinner last night and lunch today.
Yum. I love chili. That is definitely something that tastes better later.
See, now Shelly doesn't like boiled hot dogs. She likes them crispy burnt. The second best hot dog are Nathan's hot dogs cooked on the griddle in Nathan's. But again, I'm from New York, so I actually used to go to Coney Island and get them.
You don't have any I feel like you're biased, completely biased.
No, I'm not. Go throw them on a Blackstone, they're just as good.
Yes, they are.
But I mean, yeah, on a griddle. Not on a barbecue, on a griddle. They got to be on a griddle.
I like them to be charred a little bit. Like that, I like that. It's not everything that I want to be a little bit burnt, but I want them to be a little bit burnt. What is your feelings? How do you take your hot dog? Is it a little bit burnt, Where do you like it? Do you like it on a griddle? Do you like it on a grill? How do you like your hot dog?
Casey's here. Hello from Texas.
Hey.
Finally caught a live chat.
Glad you're here. So let's see. Funny about talking about hot dogs. Yes. Hot dogs is, and it's something.
Keto Dana sees John Travolta at her Target all the time.
No, you do not.
I would never think about John Travolta shopping at Target.
Oh my gracious, I was absolutely, we've been praying for that family.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, when Kelly Preston passed away, like that was just, what?
Miriam wants to know what your shirt says. She loves your earrings.
It says, I am unstoppable. I actually put this on, took a nap. Turns out I am totally stoppable. I'm absolutely stoppable.
Joe said, but Fresh Market has $2.99 ground chuck and chicken breast on Tuesdays. As you know, high quality is along with everything else they have there.
Yes.
I've never bought there.
Wow.
Rachel came home with a bunch of ground chuck the other day from Publix for what, $1, like 29 a pound or something like that?
So I was talking to somebody from Publix, and they were saying that the response to thinking that there was really going to be a tremendous meat shortage, a lot of the supermarkets, and Publix included, purchased a tremendous amount of hamburger in anticipation that it was going to be in demand, but like they would not have the supply for it.
Right.
And it turned out not to be as
so they have a bunch of
as
excess.
severe. So this is the time to get your hamburger meat, because they bought it in bulk,
and now they have it cheap.
and now they have to discount it. And so we got it, what was it, $1.49 a pound. And
Yeah.
I'm like, we may never see that price again.
Nope. And we didn't even need any. We probably have like 40 pounds of ground beef in the freezer, but I'm like, at that price, you gotta like just load up.
And I also like that it's in like the individual packages, because then the kids could just grab it and make
each
hamburgers.
one's like a pound and a half.
It's like
that.
just right.
Shelley said, anybody remember the 409 commercial where the hot dog exploded in the microwave? I do not remember that.
How many of you guys...
Shelley said she didn't eat hot dogs after that commercial.
Really? Okay, so I toured part of our, like, I don't know where they come up with field trips for elementary age kids, but like one of my field trips was touring a hot dog facility. And it was interesting, to say the least. It took me a while to eat a hot dog after I saw that. It was very clean. Everything was absolutely clean. But the way they're saying, like, oh, we mixed different animals together, because they were mixing, like, it was like the meaty jumbo. Anything called a meaty jumbo. Like, we could have raccoon and possum and beef and, like, duck. Everything inside of that hot dog. And it put me out for a while, but I don't know. I just love a hot dog sometimes.
Shanta said her and her daughter are going to do the fast.
Awesome!
And Jana said she still can't get the seasoned salt. Yes, I actually messaged Julie about that today, because we were on their website looking for the garlic salt and the lemon pepper, which Rachel really likes.
I love their lemon pepper.
They all come from the same place, and so, again, there was a manufacturing issue. So she did say within a couple weeks they should have everything back.
I hope so.
I'm excited, because
The
like, we're
seasoning
almost
salt.
out of seasoning salt.
And yeah, we're starting to ration it like
I'm hiding it.
Like we're in, an apocalyptic situation where it's like, if I start to like shake it a couple times on my food, he's like, do you really need that? Is this a make it or break it situation?
Joe said he'll come up anytime.
Awesome.
Chris posted the recipe for the keto root beer float keto chow marshmallows.
Ooh, Mike says, I'm here on Facebook and YouTube YouTube is the more active platform by far. That is so interesting. I always like to go for church and sort of like jump in both the Facebook Live and the YouTube, go back and forth and see like who is using what.
Right.
And it really is like there's whole groups of people that like one platform versus another. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting.
April said, my hubby Tom just found our first snake in the chicken pen getting our eggs. We usually get around 6 to 8 a day with our 8 hens.
Whoa.
And for a few days, we've got none. The oak snake is no more.
I am so glad, but man, that is a huge fear of mine, April, that I am going to like open up that box and
It'll
find
freak the
somebody
girls out.
in it.
It will freak them out.
But I feel like they'll be very vocal about it. I had a mom picking up their kid from daycare moment. If you've ever had a child in daycare, there is a super special moment when you go to pick them up for the day and they're just like, that's my mom, recognize you and just dart for you. I love that feeling, right? There's something super special about like, I am. I'm that person's mom, and they're super excited to see me. Well, I came back from my meeting this morning.
Chickens are not kids.
They ran from across the yard when they saw. I was like, "Hey guys!" and they came running toward me with like kid from daycare look on their face to greet mom.
That's just because they thought you had mealworms.
That's fine. I'll take it. I was super excited.
Angie said you crack her up.
You crack me up.
Oh, okay. Devin wants to know if your sunburn has cleared up.
It is so ugly back there. It is like, it's crisscross applesauce all across my back, and now it is starting to peel. I've been putting a lot of like...
Oh, that was text message was actually from Julie.
The intensive like lotion on my back.
Right. Like
that's supposed to moisturize. And it's still kind of itchy. So yeah, I was sitting in a meeting today, like, I'm sure they were like,
peeling.
What is going on here?
Kathleen said, good evening, 2KK
Hey.
family, Rachel and Joe. Joe, did you see the dream coop I posted?
I
have
did.
Not had a chance to get on Facebook today.
I did.
Did you?
It was a dream coop.
I could
live in that.
I keep making additions to our coop. So yesterday, I put on an automatic coop door.
I actually really like that because I don't know what time they're going to get up, but I'm a little bit paranoid that they're going to start getting noisy because I haven't gotten up to open the door.
Right.
So the fact that when the sun comes up, it just
I have it programmed that will automatically open up when it gets light out, and then it will close. Right now I have it set for 9:15 because it doesn't get dark until about 9 o'clock. So right before they were just starting to head up into the coop when the live stream was starting. That was one of the reasons that we were a couple minutes late. I had to go check on them because yesterday when I put it on, I had it for close the door when it gets dark. Well, it closed the door because it's kind of under a roof and it wasn't completely dark yet, and they were locked out. So now I've changed it to close at a specific time, which I know is well past dark.
You should be like, hey ladies, get your butts home, or by a certain time we're like locking you out of like the boarding house, right? It felt very like old school boarding house. Yes, and you know what I thought was a really sweet dad moment is Joe made a low-lying roost for Hannah.
Which she doesn't go on.
One of our Brahmas, because he is trying to get her to roost, and she is just not having it. She is not flying up.
I'll pick her up and put her up there, but
she does not go of her own accord. And he thought, well, maybe it's just too high, and she wants to like live lower on the ground. No,
she's just simple.
She just, bless her heart, she's trying. She's really trying.
Line Girl said, I'm not a fan of chicken breast, but I made my own chicken nuggets the other day. So much better and tastier than any standard American diet varieties I used to consume.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so chicken nuggets from McDonald's, I always had an issue with because you would bite it, and did you ever get that
You
weird...
get the cartilage.
The knob? I was certain every time that it was an eyeball. I always thought it was an eyeball.
Chris said we're coming for 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Awesome. That would be really awesome.
Ride Family said if Rachel edited videos, she would randomly put clips of her saying balls in the middle of the video.
Like subliminal things like balls. Yes, I would totally do that.
Serious Keto put a video up on how to make nut milk. Like almond milk, which I was going to actually do that video a couple months ago, and I'm just like, I'm not going to bother with this.
You didn't draw my attention to that video, Joe.
No, but... in the beginning of the bag, he's like, okay, pour the milk into the nut milk bags and then squeeze the nut bags. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's like, I'm trying not to laugh. And I'm like, the comments, I'm so glad I didn't make that video because I was going to make it like a couple months ago and I opted not to make that.
You're not even dealing with the comments from viewers. You're got to have to deal with the comments from me.
That's why I'm like, yeah. I was just like, all I could think about was every comment that you would have made every time I said nut milk bag, squeeze the nut milk bag.
Squeeze that.
Like, April said our chickens have been laying for about 6 months.
Really? That's awesome.
The four that we have, what are they? They're the Red Stars. They were called Golden something. Then when we bought Golden Comets or
Golden Buffs, I think they were called.
I don't know,
but
I know they have a bunch of different names.
Isa Browns.
They should be laying in the next like 3 to 4 weeks. They will tend to lay somewhere, is what she told me, around 12 weeks. The ones that they have. So we'll probably have to start putting some straw into those nesting boxes to encourage them to go in there. Carla said, my birthday is on Sunday, July 26th. I will be 65, feeling better than I did at 55 because of the keto lifestyle.
I love hearing that. Can we sing Carla happy birthday?
Absolutely.
I know it's ahead of time, but let's do it now. Ready?
Yep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Carla. Happy birthday to you and many more. I always loved the number 65. I just think that is a cool birthday number. I just love it.
Shannon said, I'm confused, expanded my eating window and lost 1.5 pounds on vacation. Once I returned, I went back to skipping breakfast.
You know, I think changing it up does something.
We talk about that all the time. I truly believe in changing it up, and sometimes, believe it or not, you will actually lose more weight increasing the amount of food you eat because, and we've talked about it, and Chris and Miriam have talked about it, your body is a really interesting mechanism, and it knows what to do if you give it absolutely no food. That is ketosis. Right. It'll just start going after your fat supplies. But when you give it just a little bit of food, it starts going, hey, what do? I'm not getting enough food to do everything, but I'm getting some food, so let me just slow everything down.
It will start shutting down your hair. It will start shutting down your skin cells.
Yeah, when you increase your calories, your body will ramp up your metabolism and you can actually burn more fat. It's just finding that right place,
And it always seems like it's changing and morphing. And it can also be challenging if you're eating the same as a couple.
Right.
Because he's very different than me. So sometimes we will hit a stride where I'm experiencing like great success and he feels frustrated, and then vice versa.
Right.
Where it's like, well, you know what? This is finally working for me. And I'm like, really? Because it feels like it's not working for me. Camp at the KC Warehouse, yes.
So Joe said, that sounds great. An American pudding, even if it took half an hour, if it was correct, I'm all in. I've never heard of the difference between American and British pudding, so that's all news to me.
Oh, we've done like, like for like Christmas time, you get like British puddings sort of make a comeback. It's very interesting. Different consistency.
So Kathleen said, Utah in autumn is wonderful in all the areas. Hope we'll meet up.
Oh, I can't wait.
So Gail said, I'm not normally a nap taker, but the humidity got me a couple of days this week, and I had to take a nap.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's
so far behind.
I'm sorry. I think it's a good thing. It's just like today obviously was like, I should have thought about it. Or maybe it was the time of day. Maybe if I had taken it at like 1 or something and not at like 6.
Maitreya said, school here is quite a big fight. City of Columbus was ordered to open and the superintendent said no. That's pretty much what's going on in Broward County and Palm Beach County.
Man.
Chris said, we're going to have Joe and Rachel glamping in our backyard. It'll be amazing.
I can't wait. I'm going to roast some weenies on a campfire. That is, okay, wait a second. That is my favorite way to have a hot dog. On a stick over a campfire.
No.
Yes.
Yvonne is here, said hello.
Yvonne.
Patty said we have schools in Utah with 3,000 students in 10th through 12th grade. Yeah.
Wow. Here in Illinois, they've talked about serving grade school kids food in their classroom. Yeah, we've heard that too.
Yep.
That you might not have a cafeteria. Tara Simpson's here. Hello. How's it going?
Miriam said our schools haven't said what they're going to do about lunch. We need to just teach kids to fast.
Right. Just eat when you come home. We're sort of going to be teaching that to the kids at church, right? Like usually we would have a snack, and I'm actually tickled pink that we won't be able to do that. We're not going to be serving, cookies and Cheerios anymore, but I think it's ultimately going to be a good thing.
Right, family said it's also okay to go to Walmart with a mask, but we get asked, should you really be attending church right now?
Yes.
Mike said the pandemic will last until sometime between Election Day and Inauguration Day.
Oh, we were talking about...
Completely agree. Even we were talking about down here, like right now, like
November 4th.
The no churches and stuff like that.
It'll be settled.
They're like, watch, everything is going to go back to normal on November 5th. Because right now everybody's worried about Election Day. Everybody, like where our churches is up for election.
Well, nobody wants to be decisive on any issue. They just want everything to just kind of like stay in, we're sort of in purgatory here. Like, don't make a decision about anything. But like, at least it may not be decisions that you like, but there will be a decision made, I think, in November.
Okay, we're up to the hot dog stuff. So Yvonne said I've been running around like a chicken without a head. I'm surprised I'm even making the live stream.
I'm glad you're here, Yvonne. And I have those days. It just happens.
He said dirty water dogs are what caused COVID.
I think it's at least where pink eye started.
And Krista said street meat is the best.
Street meat.
Christopher said, I've not had a hot dog from a New York street corner. Unfortunately, I hear they're great. The hot dogs at Old Yankee Stadium were great. They were dirty water dogs.
They were the original hot dogs from when Yankee Stadium opened.
See, Chris said the water is way too hot to grow any pathogens. Leave it to the, to the engineer and the scientist.
But it's just like, it's like the image that I have in my head does a lot. I was talking to my mom's friend, and she was talking about how she always goes to this one particular restaurant and orders frog legs, and she lost me. As soon as she said, I love their frog legs, now all I can think about is like wiggly legs, and they may be the greatest food ever, but like all I can think
Mike said Costco is the best place to get hot dogs. $1.50.
Yes.
Completely agree.
They stay with me all day though.
But you do taste them the entire day.
I burp them all day long.
Costco loses so much money on those hot dogs. People don't realize, like, they don't make any money. It's the money loser, but people go there for the hot dogs.
We did?
And for the chick. Oh, yeah, before keto, we used to take the kids, like, on Friday. Come on, guys, we're going out to eat. And we'd go to Costco, hot dogs and pizza. It was like $15 for a pizza, and everybody gets a hot dog and a soda.
Even now, like, you can go and get the hot dog. But, like, yeah, it is a weird. I don't know what spice or whatever is in there that makes me burp it, but it is with me all day long. It's good, though.
Devin said I used to love Home Depot dogs.
Yes. Okay, so
Keto on a budget likes Nathan hot dogs. Nathan's are the best, said Tara.
Admire the people who run the dirty